Hey everyone, it's time for the video version of issue 6 of Beer Money Reports. So, for the report itself, we have a few new apps added onto the board. I'm going to make note though that we're not going to keep adding and adding forever. The number of new investigations is eventually going to drop over time. Likely, ideally, in later issues, I want to make it like 1 or 2 per issue. Some issues might not have any at all, and it will just be all updates. Part of that is because the board is getting quite big, so I'm at a point that I'm willing to take suggestions. If there's any that you would like to see sooner rather than later, please put that down in the comments section, and I will go and try to investigate them, all right? So let's get started here with the new apps. The first one is Free Cash. So Free Cash, I give a yellow rating because mainly they're just offer walls all the way down. It's offer walls all the way down. If you have known the kind of luck you get from these offer walls, like Offer Toro, Wall, Time Wall, Lootably, Adgate, Review, and so on, they tend to be very hit and miss with what you can earn from their offers. And yeah, I mean, low effort money is pretty hard to come by here, but I mean, they got some really good offers, especially their exclusive ones. There was a Family Island offer not too long ago for $81. There's a $75 one for Stash. There is this game on there called Kingdom Guard that if you get to level 1300, you get $480. I mean, combined with all the other stuff that they have for that one, it's a multi-reward. I think it's like $750. So much money that they'll have to send you a 1099. Anyway, some of the future offers are really good, especially their exclusive ones. But again, we got to investigate a little bit more into their featured offers before I decide to upgrade or downgrade their rating. And if I do, you'll see that in a future video. The second new one is Mplay. Now, Mplay is mostly an app that pays you for time on games. You get GXP for each game you download, and let Mplay monitor your playtime over. Users have mentioned that earning gets significantly slower once you've gotten your first $50 to $100 or so of gift cards. And honestly, that's likely because they don't want to send out 1099s if you earn too much in gift cards. They actually do have a $550 a year limit on those. There is, however, one major issue, and that is I checked the Better Business Bureau, and there are major complaints filed against them, which further adds to the caution, but I'm going to give them a yellow for right now. Now for Receipt Jar. Receipt Jar has all the earnings of Receipt Hog, which was one of the worst earning apps just period, with the added issue of requiring you to connect your email account to their app in order to earn anything, and not just to earn from online receipts. Big red flag. There's just privacy issues there that I know a lot of people would get worried about. And because of that, I'm giving them an amber rating for right now, but I am open to reinvestigating for an upgrade if enough people ask for it. Now, that's it for the new apps. Let's talk about some upgrades and downgrades. So as you can see here, OnePulse actually got an upgrade. Yeah, that's right. They got an upgrade, not just to a green tier, but they are now the new number 3 app. And honestly, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to make them number 2. They're a really, really good app, and I'm actually very surprised at how easy it was to make money. I'm currently at like $10 a few weeks in, which is really good. They do take Mturk's number 3 spot, despite making just a little bit less than Mturk, and the reason is because they provide the same premium pay for questions and surveys as Mturk and Prolific, but without the waiting list. I will say a couple issues that I have are that $20 is still a very steep payout, whereas there is now no limit with Amazon Mturk, but just having the accessibility alone gives it the bronze medal for right now, in my opinion. Also, I'm going to add that we have a downgrade here. I downgraded Coin to Amber from Yellow, and much of that is due to my friend AJ's arbitration with Coin App over them banning his account and multiple other reports coming in of Coin's questionable tactics in trying to lower user profits. I got no choice but to downgrade them, and this is really sad considering at one time they were actually the number 2 app right under Atlas Earth in earnings. Quite the fall from grace for Coin. However, if you are a truck driver or a rideshare driver, this might still be profitable enough to keep while you're on the job and you have a pro membership. So for them, I would say yellow. maybe even green, but for the average beer money user, it is definitely an amber tier rating. Now, for this feature issue, we're going to talk about amber and red tier ratings, and we're going to start with amber. So an amber tier rating indicates that the app has a questionable reputation due to major flaws with the app, multiple reports of people being banned without probable cause, or a lack of ability to earn money even if you paid for a premium membership or to get ahead in said app or game. Now, that doesn't mean that nobody is making money or they're not cashing out. Matter of fact, quite on the contrary, a lot of these games, there are people that are making a ton of money. They just still have to cash out and send money to most players to even get there. It's just the questionable reputation overall, and just that for most people that are trying to get started, or for the average person, it's just going to be at best a waste of time, and at worst just something that they are going to lose money on if they put any money into it. So we're going to skip receipt jar and coin since we've already talked about those two today, and we're going to start the amber tier with Upland. Now, Upland is an interesting one. At one time, there were a small amount of people that were really making a lot of money on this app. Thousands, tens of thousands, in fact. However, there are people who have lost thousands, tens of thousands, and even hundreds of thousands of dollars in this game as well. Many had placed their frustrations to the community Discord and has resulted in staff banning them for it. The only way to earn any money in the game at all is to sell something, whether it be properties or any of their ever-growing endless amounts of NFTs. Their reputation for being very draconian when it comes to censorship and their inability to fix their ever-falling market has led them towards this amber tier rating. In fact, whenever something gets too profitable for their community, however few dollars that they may manage to gain, they have a tendency to nerf it via directly or indirectly. Examples of this in the last year have been the market going from 80 to 35% on the dollar on their properties, Spark tier treasure hunts being reduced and eventually ending, merging 3 of the treasure hunt hint arrows together into one, making it harder to find a treasure, an increase in the multiplier cap of standard hunts, a spike in the number of sales of NFTs like cars, wearables, and totems. It seems like the only ones that are even profiting on it these days are either successful enough developers of these games like Upland Kingdoms, game snipers, of which I admittedly am one of them, and to a lesser extent stakers and treasure hunters, of which I was both as well, who had bought hundreds of properties in a city, and with the exception of the latter two, they are all zero-sum games. There's also other stuff too with scarcity involving NFTs and legits that are also another problem. And yeah, beer money enthusiasts just in general, best advice to stay away regardless of the amount of money people have made on there. Just take it from me, would ya? Now next is Rollercoin. Rollercoin is like Upland, but without any real heyday or any real chance to start up. Whereas with Upland, you could probably build a net somewhere for the price of a monthly apartment rent and treasure hunt for $1 or so of profit a day, Rollercoin seems to have no real way to make money even if you pay for their miners. The miners in the game, that is. There have been other YouTubers that have experimented spending a few $100s on a year of Rollercoin, only to find out that they would have to go 4 to 5 years of playing this continuously to be able to break even, let alone make any money. The free-to-play option is also extremely slow, and you will find yourself trying to produce more of the game's token 99.9% of the time just to try to build yourself up. If you don't mind the game aspect of it, which are just playing 50 or so mini-games a day, you can upgrade this to yellow and don't expect to ever make any money. However, if you want to make money, there are far, far, far better options for your time out there. In fact, I think there are even more fun games out there in period. I mean, between this and Upland, I'd take Upland any day, especially with their treasure hunting, even with the treasure hunting becoming more frustrating with the arrow hint merging. Just my opinion, of course. The next one is Mplay. Now, Mplay finishes the last of our trifecta of fun play-to-earn games in this amber tier. But the barrier to get in is even worse than Upland or Rollercoin. What started as an idle game became an 8-bit metaverse builder and army simulator, where you mine resources and try to make money off of that. If you aren't a fan of crypto, bad news for you, as the only way to log in is via a crypto wallet like MetaMask. The idle game competitions were fine for its time, but in its current state, I just can't recommend it because of the high barrier to entry just to make any money at all. And finally, rounding out the amber tier is Neob. Now, Neob is currently under investigation for a downgrade. The main reason for its amber tier rating, though, which is the purpose of this rating, is their referral renting program. Many people have accused Neob of referrals being bots that cut off at around the 2/3 mark of you paying back, and I can confirm from multiple accounts that their referral renting program seems to do just that. However, they do pay out, which is why they are amber and not red, and I am checking to make sure that they still do pay out. And that's more than I can say for red tier apps. Let's move on to the red tier apps. For red tier apps, these are the apps that either don't pay, rug pulled, or have significant issues regarding legality that could put you in serious trouble. In other words, amber means I just don't recommend. Red means straight up stay away. We are going to start with My Meta. And this is in part because right now they just don't have a working app. They will eventually get a reinvestigation once at least a beta shows up, but they've had plenty of people hyped up about them being an alternative to Upland. They've had thousands of dollars invested into it, and here we are a year and a half later, and they've almost all but fallen off the face of the earth. Their website is gone. Their Discord server is still up giving monthly updates, but because they've kind of all but disappeared, I regretfully have to downgrade them to red. However, I will reinvestigate and give them an upgrade soon as they have a working beta up, if ever. Moving on now to Honeygain. Honeygain is red because internet sharing rewards apps in general are a bad idea. You never know who is using your ISP, and in doing so, it can lead to unsavory and at times even illegal things that could land you in hot water. Don't take the risk just for a few cents. Stay away from Honeygain. Profit Pie I already talked about in another video. The returns they promise is just unreasonable. I'm going to leave a card on the top right to that video so that you get a little bit more information on Profit Pie. And Crypto Scoop. Oh boy, this one. Okay, I'm going to do a review for this one as sort of a Christmas present to you all. All I'm going to say is spam galore, ads are insane, questionability all around and all that just to make a few cents to buy a miner. Returns aren't as unreasonable as Profit Pie, but everything about the app just screams run. Now, I don't like to call anything a scam, but all I can say is just don't go there. I certainly wouldn't, but I'm going to do it for a future video review so that y'all can have a little bit of fun. So that's it, everyone. That is issue number 6. The next 3 issues, we're going to talk about the experiment and what the ground rules will be. And yeah, so the first one, I say issue 7, I'm going to start talking about like the previous experiments and what went wrong with them. Issue 8, I'm going to talk about the ground rules for the experiment. And issue 9, I'm going to talk about my final parameters for it. And if you want to give suggestions regarding it, and that's it, everyone. Like the video, comment whatever you like, subscribe to this channel, and hopefully I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.